There's been a lot of talking online how Life is Feudal is complete ripoff of Banished. Now hopefully this video will give you an idea to what extent this is correct and basically what to expect from Forest Village. It's an unfair comparison in a way, considering Banished has been out for 3 years now and Forest Village is still an early access game, but of course it also goes without saying these are completely different development teams. Also the fact that just one guy made Banished blew me away completely. I first played Banished before it came out. It wasn't really finished yet. Then I played it again when it was released. I absolutely loved it. I had hundreds of hours in it, lots of population dying due to disease, work accidents, disasters, hunger, freezing, and in the end, old age, of course, if they're lucky to survive even up to that point. Now, both games share the same basic concept, which is basically select a randomly generated map, get in the game with around 10 to 15 people and 2 buildings, and try to survive off the land and fight the harshness of the nature to the very best of your ability, while at the same time increasing your population. In both games, this is of course nearly impossible, but you don't have enemies per se like bandits or soldiers trying to take away your goods and kill your people. You basically just fight against nature and time. But you also fight against stupid AI as well. Sometimes it happens. What they have done in Forest Village to make the game a little bit more challenging is they've added wild animals, so they can basically get in the village and slaughter all the farm animals that you have there, which is really bad for food consumption, and you need to build hunter lodges in specific points, so basically no wild animal can come inside your village. And in the future, from what I've seen, they're planning to add a feature so the animals can hurt the people as well, which should make the game even more challenging. Also, both Forest Village and Banished have mod support, and they will have Workshop on Steam open. Banished already does. It has a lot of mods that already change your gameplay, buildings, textures, may even add additional features, while Forest Village, since it's new and it's early access, does not have as much content. Now, regarding the actual ripoff comments that I see everywhere, yeah, I mean, basically Forest Village utilizes a very similarly designed HUD to the one that Banished has. Very similar gameplay options, building construction options, choice of professions. The way you assign workers to buildings and resource collection is pretty much the same. So people who played Banished will have no problem getting used to the gameplay if they went and play this. Banished also has around 20 professions that you can assign your workers to, while Forest Village has 26 in its early access phase, and I'm not sure how many of these are currently usable in game. I think most of them are, if not all. There's also a lot of features on their website which do show how far in development they are currently, and what has been done and what will be done in the future. You know, back in the days of playing Banished, I imagined what the game could be with better graphics, terraforming, so you can place building where you wanted to put them and change the landscape, being able to walk into any building and control NPCs in first person, walk around the world, do work, more variety when it comes to buildings, professions, and whatever, babies eating less food, and so on. Life is Feudal is basically a game that had a sex with my ideas and gave birth to a game called Forest Village. These are at the same time the differences between the two. One lovely addition is the ability to build actual walls with wood or stone, which add a medieval feeling to the game, while Banished, on the other hand, doesn't really have as much of a medieval feeling compared to the architectural style of Forest Village. Now, while currently it is very much playable, let's not forget it is an early access stage. It is far from perfect. There are issues with it, bugs, glitches, performance issues when speeding up the game with 60+ population, and so on. For example, you can upgrade buildings in Forest Village. Currently it's only housing, but when the full game is released it could be other buildings as well. So yesterday I upgraded a house, and apparently the villagers who lived there didn't eat at all, with a barn full of food next to them. They kept doing their job until they starved to death because the upgrade wasn't finished in time. And you know, then I realized people only took food home and they ate there, which is why it happened. They don't eat outside at all. I really do hope this is a bug and not a feature. Also, I've seen a lot of reviews left by people on their Steam page, and a lot of them are simply disliking because it's a Banished ripoff. They feel it's unfair, and you know, that's fine. So, you know, don't be confused by the reviews. There's a lot of people as well that are saying, you know, patches are not coming in time, some things haven't been fixed in months. And I really hope that that is not the case. They've been consistent so far. The last patch was released on the 19th of January, which if you take that and compare it to a game like DayZ, their patching regime has been terrible. So there's that. One of the major things that is making this game so similar to Banished is, for example, orchards need a few years to grow. The workers you put out in the fields to grow crops, they need to start somewhere around early spring and make and collect all the crops by the time the winter comes. After that, you reallocate those same workers to other food production buildings that are available during the winter as well, like fishing, hunting, or bakeries, or any other production line that you need them to be in. So you don't really have a lot of time to relax, and you need to adapt to circumstances and nature. While what also adds more dynamic to the whole game is the fact that seasons don't come exactly when you expect them to. Sometimes winters can come earlier, sometimes they're late, sometimes they can end earlier. It's just, in my opinion, it adds a lot of dynamics, and it makes the game more interesting and challenging as you go. So to conclude this video and summarize everything, yeah, it's a ripoff to some extent, but I do feel it's a ripoff that at least should be done right. If they keep patching the game, listening to the community, and adding more content, it has very good chances of ending up as a great game. Now regarding the price, early access stuff usually go overboard lately, but this game is at $25 price tag. It's an early access title, but then you compare it to Banished, which is a full game. It's been released 3 years ago and it's at $19 price tag. Now, I don't know if this is due to the size of the team making the game. Banished had one guy, while Forest Village has an entire team. If this is justifying the price, I don't know. It's up to you guys to decide. But basically, I would wait for a month or two to see if any progress would be made before pledging to this, just to be on the safe side. Overall, personally, I do like the game. I made it to 10 years in-game. Many people are struggling to get even that far. Terraforming can make the environment look funny sometimes. Hopefully that will be patched as well. But I'm generally having fun, and it's what's important in the end. That's it for today's video, guys. If you have any questions or opinions, feel free to leave them in a comment section below. I will respond in less than 24. You also have useful links in the description to check both of these games out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.